Here's the issue with having website copy that's not effective. If you have a website up and you just chat GPT'd it, you threw it up real quick because you're like, technically I need a website, but you're still in the back of your mind feeling a little bit guilty because you did not enter buyer psychology, you did not put in a sales page framework, you did not go through the product marketing to make sure the website was actually articulating the value of the service or the offer that you currently have, then here's the issue. It can totally destroy your entire sales engineering process, because let's think about this. Somebody reads your emails, you did good with the emails, or you have a copywriter that writes your emails and they're increasing your clicks. But then when they click to go to your website to pay for your service, to book a call with you, or just to understand what they're getting, they're reading the website and it sounds like AI slop. Like, I know everybody knows that new term that we didn't have prior to 2020, AI slop, which is literally just something that robots basically threw up and put out there. If that's what's currently on your website, I understand you were busy. You wanted to just throw the website up. If you have not updated your website in the past year, because this economy is changing, buyer psychology is changing, then that is probably why. That could be one of the reasons. We would have to diagnose it, but that could be one of the reasons that you're experiencing issues with your sales process. Now, one way to figure this out is to do an entire business and marketing operations audit, going over your current website, your current sales page, if you have both a website and a sales page, going over your email marketing sequences, your welcome automation, your sales emails, the content and copy that you have been putting out, and then also your entire marketing strategy. This is what we call a gap analysis, GAP analysis, to understand what your calls to actions are. See, with all of my clients, when they come into my private advisory, my agency that's 10 years old, and I've gotten my clients 31.9 million to date in revenue collectively across real estate, finance, banks, business coaches, technology companies, healthcare consultants, wellness practitioners, mental health group coaching programs, all of those wonderful things. When they come into my business, there's a process that we have no matter what service they're getting. If they're getting a retainer for magnetic emails, if we're rewriting their website, rewriting their sales page, doing a new launch, they have to go through what I call the 20 question framework. It's an interrogation into their creative process, their brand brief. And if you are a marketing agency, then you are already familiar with a creative brief, but it takes it like 10 steps further to truly diagnose and get the gold out of their stories. Okay. Now there's that. Let's park that there. Throughout the process, we also have to go through and understand the three emotions their audience feels. So your buyer feels before working with your brand, while working with your brand, and after, because this is going to dictate the stories that need to be told on your website, the case studies that you should include, the statistics that are relevant to your people at this time. Also remembering, as you're writing, or as your marketing director, your copywriter is writing, they should be writing for one distinct person. Now, you are not new in business, so you actually have buyer personas that are real people. Thinking about your favorite people to work with, the favorite projects you have, really dissecting those and answering the 20 question framework according to that one client or to that one agency or whoever it is that you worked with that you want to recapture and keep getting these type of people. Because the type of clients that you book is hugely based on the type of clients you can acquire through your website copy, which is exactly why I created the copy system. Now, it covers your website and the first 5 emails of your welcome sequence, but it's a 6-week live intensive group coaching audit session. I have found personally that everybody does not need 12 months, 18 months. They may just need, if you are this person, you may just need 6 weeks to be in an intensive setting, meet once every other week to figure out, okay, how can I elevate my brand messaging? How can I elevate the hooks on my website? How can I get into a hot seat and see, okay, do I really know how to answer these questions for my business in the new economy of 2026? And being honest about how your market has changed, okay? Because when your market takes a shift, for example, my tax relief clients, they say that, hey, the real estate agents that they would work with are not selling as many houses, so they're having to go back and work with other small businesses. So if they had a website that was based solely on real estate agents, they would now have to go back and audit and critique that copy or create a new sales page and this is not rare. This is something we frequently do in corporate America to A, B, and C test different sales pages anyway, especially if you're someone that does Google ads, Facebook ads, you already know how testing goes. But they would set up an entire sales page or a website or a function in their website that already exists to talk to those 1099 small business owners instead of only targeting real estate agents. So that's what I mean when I say like pivoting or industry changes. How has your buyer demographic changed? These are the things that we need to go over in the 6-week intensive if you are a part of it. Now, here's the thing. There are only going to be 3 slots available. It's a $1,500 program, 3 slots, 6 weeks intensive. We meet every other week. And the takeaway that you get is your 5 emails written with you and for you through the process, critiqued and edited by a 10-year copywriter. And then your website. We need to go through and audit your homepage, your about section, your blog, your sales page copy, all of that wonderful stuff, so you can walk away after that 6 weeks, which begins July 16th, goes to about August 20th, I think is the end date, 6 weeks from July 16th. So you walk away with a website that actually books clients, that actually makes people feel seen, heard, and understood, and is super specific to one demographic. So this is not going to be ideal for you if you're someone that does not like to look at your current demographics. You don't like to look back at sales call information. You don't like to go through and actually see what services are most popular in your own service suite, because all of this data gives us information, okay? So you need to just understand that. Now, this also brings me to a speaking engagement that I did about a couple weeks ago. I think it was about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago now. It is called AI Unlocked, the 2026 edition, and I broke down the 30, 60, and 90-day analytics framework that every entrepreneur needs. Most entrepreneurs do not know this because it is a corporate framework. Usually entrepreneurs, small businesses that are using this are way ahead of the time, way ahead of their game. They're booking clients nonstop because they have a map that's their data that's showing them where they need to go. 30 days, we need to check your website clicks, your email open rates, and see your most popular posts, especially if you have a blog, okay? This aligns with both of those. So that's called going through, doing your data analysis in a 30-day segment. Then we do your 60-day. Then we do your 90-day. Now, typically, this is reserved for retainer clients, but I do want to teach this process for the 6-week intensive attendees, because you can use this, DIY it, teach it to your virtual assistant, and have that almost corporate communications guideline that you pass down to your team so that you can truly tell what's happening in your business. What are your 3 top performing posts? What are your 3 least best performing posts? What posts got the most unsubscribes? What posts did not get any website traffic? All of those things indicate that you should either change that topic or stop talking about that topic. And then your most popular posts, both on your website, what drove clicks, what drove sales, then on the email side, what drove opens, what drove clicks. These are going to tell you what topics that you should focus on. And so when you hear somebody say, or when you feel like, man, I don't know what to pivot into, I don't really know what to do. If you don't know what to do or what to pivot into, that usually means that you have not looked at the data to understand what your buyers need and want from you, okay? Now, I think this is it for this live video. Again, I'm going to come back tomorrow and we're going to continue talking about these different subjects about marketing operations and how to build an actual system that attracts ideal clients, because literally we are still in 2026. It's about the mid-year point almost. It's June. And so you can still have the best revenue year ever in 2026. You can still sell out your offers, but you're going to have to get super precise, super specific, and you need to stop treating your business like a side hustle. Let's be honest. You need to treat your business, although you know it's not a corporation, treat it like a corporation. Although you don't own a media company, treat your content marketing like you are a media company that posts all days throughout all times of the year. Now, clearly you need a system for that, and that is what the copy system is for. Check out the link in bio to go ahead and get your spot in the intensive. Again, there are only 3 slots. Once they're gone, it's gone. There's going to be no more opened up for the duration of that program, and I don't know when I'm going to open it again, depending on how busy I am with my retainer projects, okay? So I will see you in the next video. Follow along at Tiffy G Writes. Visit www.tiffygwrites.ai if you would like to see my $31.9 million portfolio. Talk soon.